anything I can do for you two?
We've come to see Zhongli.
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank? Last time we saw Zhongli was... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? We had better go and...
It's inedible.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? Oh, it seems that some of...
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And...
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city... Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helpless...
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map.
Paimon knew that we should never have...
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little talk. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually,
Stop wasting time, child. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking...
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to...
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter so...
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and...
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. I witnessed even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I stood motionless among the crowds.
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child. Indeed I was. The Gnosis which I had kept for so many... That's right. Which is why I continued to...
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear...
Of course. And it would have been all too easy. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with...
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract, Signora. She managed to keep everything she knew in strict confidence, far from the eavesdropping ears of her colleague child. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal. These things were all a part of my script. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue as divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by... Huh? On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too...
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me?
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump...
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you... Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the...
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa.
Fine. I'll meet you...
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade.
Realistically speaking.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made... My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used about... Uncover that answer for yourself in your future.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting...
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that...
Fatui?
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean...
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the...
Say, do you think the person who assassinated...
Now that you mention it, I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the... Still, what sort of supernatural...
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no...
Hear ye all! Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountain, gods and Adepti live glorious lives. But both rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon? So that something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention, could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? Did Zhongli tell them exactly, right? Ooh, seems... Look, it's Ningguang and Kuqing.
As said previously, Rex Lapis...
3,700...
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous, but blinded by our long, unending Now that we have awoken from our dream, will you stand with us as we re-establish our...
So concludes the words of her. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to... Traveler.
Yikes!
Is that the traveler who...
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. Name your price.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
But it seems as if those well...
Perhaps...
As for the...
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, and here you are looking...
Why would I not feel more right if the two of you can spare the time?
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-rate...
You're right. I do.
But why would Mora...
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth, when I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were... But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to...
Well, we were only spending Fatui. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. The Archon Morax could never... I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too...
Paimon thinks we've heard that one...
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu...
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon... Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know...
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often... But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, this is what visions are. Magic...
That's how people
But starting from last year, the Raiden...
Vision hunted?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the thousand.
They want to seize visions. But
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are.
whoa,
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of the. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation.